So good morning, chat, or YouTube. Hello. I'll try to make this short and sweet. Today is decision day. Been doing some research, some studying. I've known a lot of things for a long time and just haven't implemented them. Today is the day I decide to go on a diet. I think this time we're going to try for a year. I'm going to mention a few names. Not trying to drop names, but I am. Not that I know these people, I just seen them on YouTube and other places before YouTube was here. Like in the immortal words, as Anthony Robbins says, you can make a decision in a moment, and then you should do something that day or immediately to take action on that decision. So, I like Rip Tripper's diets. I know he didn't make the diet, but going off of his video and the fact that my wife's been trying to tell me for 15 years, get away from sugar. I said, you know what? I'm motivated by Rip Trippers and I'm going to try it. I'm not going to like it because I love sugar, but I'm going to try it. I should have a shirt on, but just want you to know I'm fat. I'll get videos later. I do have clothes on, just shorts and socks and whatnot. I'll get videos later, short clips or something, me in front of a mirror, get an idea how fat I look, kind of a before. Okay, kind of like a before. I haven't gotten a scale in a while, so I need to do that. I want to set up a regular regimen or routine of getting on a scale. I have a great scale at work. I don't know how it's going to work with my phone camera, because it's the numbers to read it is 100 feet away, maybe 80, 90, 100 feet away, maybe a little bit more, probably a little bit less. But the only scale I got there's no problem carrying my body weight. The only problem is it's in increments of 20 pounds, so it's a truck scale. Yeah, right now it says, and I've been on a few weeks, so I might say more, but right now it says 420, and that means I'm between 410 and 430, because it's in 20-pound increments. Now I'm going to spend some money one day and get me a real scale, a nice scale. If I find a decent one, if I can tell it's good quality, up to 500 pounds. Hopefully I won't need it in a year. Decision day, and to lose 100 to 150 pounds. A minimum 100 pounds. Maximum 150 pounds. All that really means it'll put me down in the 250, 270, 280 range. That's where I was before a truck hit my truck. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I mentioned it, on video. I don't know if I mentioned it before. The people that know me, my friends and relatives, and my employers know this story to some extent. But in 2004, truck ran through the stop sign at Seagirt, Baltimore, Maryland. Hit my truck, tore through the seatbelt. I fell on the floor, broke, displaced the stick shift. So it was pretty bad hit. Front got tore up, half of it got torn off. Had a weight. He didn't have a weight. That's technical stuff is. It happened, and because of that, the game I had some back issues for years. almost had to do surgery. I had heard a lot of stories like, if you do surgery, you'll never recover. So I didn't want to do anything to avoid having to do that. And I didn't really start to see any help in pain management or mobility functionality until I started getting on a regular regimen of a professional quality chiropractor where I lived, and he was really good, and he had a staff that was really good. And then I started to see some improvement because I had some serious back damage, and I went from like 270 all the way up to 360 in probably just a few years. I used to run, and I used to walk a lot with my kids, and I used to be active. And then because of my injury, I was inactive and I didn't have the ability to do what I was used to doing. Long time ago, I was airborne, 82nd Airborne, 91 to 95 in the Army, and I used to be in great shape. Always when I went in the Army in 90, 91, I was in basic training in 92 in AIT. I was skinny, and I, in fact, in, 8-9 weeks of basic training, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, I went from 170 to 195 about 9 weeks. So I gained a lot of weight. I couldn't do much push-ups because did a lot of prep to get into the military, so I had to get up to 20 push-ups. But I did a lot of running and fitness training that I knew about and could do. And so my drill sergeant told my brother and my dad, said, he couldn't do push-ups too well, but he could run like the wind. And that's what I had. I had overdeveloped my legs and undeveloped my upper body. But Army fixed that. After 3 years, I could do 100, 200 push-ups. I could do 3 to 500 sit-ups. I think I was training for Ranger tests at one point in 93 or 94. I was training for Ranger tests. I wanted to take it. I was trying to get to it, and I was, what was it, like 300 and was it 305 minutes, something like that. So it was fun. I was doing good on the pull-ups. I had a goal of 103 minutes or something like that. I don't think I ever quite reached that, but anyway, I was in great shape. I was in great shape for a few years, and out of the military, didn't exercise as much, but still exercised. When I met my wife, I was running every other day, 3, 4, 5 miles, and did all kinds of stuff for exercise just for the fun of it. Hiking, walking. So I used to be in shape. I was skinny when I went in. My metabolism, my training made me buff and tough. And, I grew up physically and mentally. Rough lifestyle, military. But for those that survive, it's usually has its benefits. And I have to say that, of course God did it. He put Mary and I together, my wife and I. And I would have not had the confidence to approach her had I not had the military training. Not trying to sell the military to anybody, but because you can live your life. You can go in and have a great career and then get sent to combat and die. So I'm not telling anybody to do it. You want to toughen up, you want to bulk up, you want to get in shape, you want to have great adventure, join the military. It's fun. There's a downside. You could die. That's the downside that everybody that loves you doesn't like. Everything else they love about it. You know? You learn discipline, you learn how to say yes sir, no sir to your yes man, no man, to your parents. If those of you that have issues with that, the military is good for that. Anyway, the purpose of the video is supposed to be short. As one of my previous videos, I was going to make a whole series. I don't know what happened to it. I have to go back and look at it. But the purpose of my video was to say that today's decision day. I'm deciding to get down to that 270, 280 range, maybe even 250. I'm going to go on a diet for at least a year. I think I'm going to figure out a way to do a lifestyle, to change it into a lifestyle. When I get down to range where I want to be, will I go back? I think it's going to be multiple steps. I'm deciding to add multiple things that I know about, and I'm 48 years old now. I like to say 76 months. Anyway, gonna start a diet, and I watched a bunch of videos yesterday about different stuff, and I came across Rip Trippers. It was actually watching Mountain Vapes, and Ryan Hall in his video, he's talking about Rip Trippers, and I was like, let me go there. You know how you get spiritual guidance, you don't really know about it, you're not sure, you're not thinking about it, but you think you have spiritual guidance? I think that might have been what's going on, because I started in one area looking at, I'm going to buy a nice mod, little battery mod, and check out the new tanks. I think Falcon's got some nice flaxseed or flax fiber tanks in it. So looking at some stuff like that, and it went from one thing to another. I think it was some guy had lost, it was like 605 pounds and lost like a lot of weight in a short period of time on obese something. I'm butchering everything. This is totally uncut. I don't have my computers down. ESET damaged my computers. Tried to pay the extra annual thing, and it didn't go through. So I went back to a standard one, McAfee, and from what I can tell, ESET crashed my computer within a few months of leaving them. So I don't have any proof it was ESET. You can try to sue me if you want. I'm broke. You're not gonna get nothing. Look at my subscribers. It's less than 50, so I'm not influencing that many people. The main reason for this video is to talk about me deciding to start a diet. In the area of doing something, taking action immediately, like Anthony Robbins talks about. Accountability. I want to be accountable to my friends, my relatives, and I'd like to have a record. I hope this video is okay, turned out okay. It's on my phone, I don't have a computer to edit it, so what you see is what you get. As my good friend and brother-in-law, John, said at his wedding to my sister, said, Sam's a cool guy. He gave me a nice compliment that day. He said, Sam's a cool guy, nice guy, whatever. He said, Sam's the type of guy you see what you get. Which gets what you see. And I liked it. So you're gonna get that in my videos, at least until I get proper editing software. And I need to keep them somewhat short because nobody wants to hear somebody ramble for an hour. And I gotta get ready for work, so that. And so I'm gonna throw a bunch of things together. Last year, for about 3 months, my boss slash friend, co-worker, Mr. Hawkins, he introduced me to a video on YouTube about the vegan lifestyle. And now I'm trying to remember the name of the video. I'm sure I will mention or have mentioned it in the video before, but what the health? That's the name of it. What the health? I saw it. My personal opinion was this is vegan propaganda. But I said, you know what? There's enough truth in here that what if what they're saying is true? You know, they had a few people that said they did this complete vegan diet, and after a certain amount of time, like weeks, they started having noticeable results. Now, I've always known that if I get into early stages of if I get into obesity and I get into early stages of diabetes because of obesity, you know, because of too fucking fat, eating too much damn sugar, you know, all that stuff, that I could get sugar. I've always known that if I go on a fast long enough and if I'm young enough and healthy enough to survive it, that I believed I could reset the pancreas. And as long as I healed from the fast properly and didn't, certain things you gotta do right. You gotta have enough water. You gotta have enough salt. My best friend, he doesn't like my water choices. I'm trying not to show the name, but some of you know what it is. But has 0.09% salt. I guess it's 0.09. I had to read to be sure, but I remember from my medic training, combat medic, that's the same percentage of, I think you call it saline, what we would put in the battlefield. And I don't know this to be true, but I'm guessing that the company that made this water, I guess I ain't getting paid, it don't matter. I don't think you get in trouble for dropping company names and product names. As long as you're not saying anything too terrible about it, they won't even want to do anything. But you know, so it's a company that makes Dasani, and it's got, I think it's 0.09% salt, and I think it's extremely filtered tap water. I think. What little I think I know about it. And I think the purpose they made it was so that, and why they never changed the lids to those really cheap ones that you see a lot of other companies coming up with, little tiny plastic lids like you get on one of my other favorite parts is Deer Park. But they went to that small lid, and I'm like, I'm huge, man. I'm 6'5". I'm 430 pounds, more or less. 120 pounds at least. Got big old hands. And little tiny lids. And they've always kept the lid right. Looks good, right? So, thinking maybe it has something to do with it. They actually designed it to be able to use it as saline. You know, if the need were to rise, are you able to use it to somebody who knows what they're doing, who's properly medical trained, or in an end of world apocalyptic type scenario where somebody who had training 100 years ago, like me, was a combat medic, back in the 90s, knows enough to to start to properly treat somebody, hydrate somebody through an IV, could use this stuff and it would be safe because it has just enough salt in it to not destroy the blood vessels. In no way do I claim to know a lot about medical stuff. I studied it for 10 years, maybe longer. I should have. I'm not rich, I'm poor, so I should have went in that area maybe. Anyway, I tell people I know and friends that listen to me, take enough time to actually listen to me, I've forgotten enough medical emergency medical information that I've forgotten more than anybody who's never studied medicine has ever knew. It's not exactly true. But there's a good percentage of the population that's never studied it, and the knowledge is less than what I've learned and forgotten. So I forgot a lot. I'm getting more close to normal. But I used to know how to do an IV and rehydrate somebody through that. Anyway, getting off topic, I'm rambling again. I gonna put together a few diets. I like Rip Tripper's diet. I like Mountain Base today. He don't even call it his diet. It's just what he did. And I understand a little bit about fasting, water fasting. Need a little bit of salt, so you don't dehydrate by drinking too much water. And other medical issues like if you drink too much water too fast, your brain and other organs have lower salt and they'll just suck the water in. Since the brain is the only real organ that is completely surrounded by bone, you get headaches and worse if you overtake water and not enough anything else. So there's a balance there. You got to be careful. I'm not a medical professional. I was never more than a combat medic. Studied to be a paramedic. Never really finished that. Should have did that. Did Firefighter 1. That was fun. 2002. Long time ago. So basically, I was a first responder, medically and firefighting. Just first responder level, basic level. I hope that it's nice to know things. Nice to know that you did stuff. It was fun. I did it after 9/11. I wanted to be there and be able to help, and then the accident happened. I got out of shape, and I got knowledge up here. Mostly I forgot important stuff, like real technical stuff. But the basic gist of it, I still remember some of it. Like the combustion rate of, what is it, wood or cardboard or paper, 500 degrees, 500 something degrees. Stuff. Pardon me. So, I'm gonna try a start. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do. I've tried fasting before. Rip Trippers did a 7-day fast. I am so much overweight. Now, I don't want to do this fast to lose weight. And I'll lose a little bit. And I don't want to do it so long that I could suffer other medical problems. So, I'm going to call it a half of a God fast. God Almighty, Jesus Christ. He did a 40-day fast before he started his earthly ministry. So, I'm going to do a half of it. I'm going to say, I like numbers, numerology also. 3 is the number for God, 7 is the number for perfection, 8 new beginning, 5 grace. Cool stuff like that. So 3 times 7 is 21. Half of 40 is 20. Make it 21 to make sure, because I was to start today, and then I had a little bit of food. a little bit of food this morning. I'm like, okay, doesn't technically start till the first day. It'll be 24 hours after I've had the last meal, or after the last meal was digested. That's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. So noon today would be a good beginning. 24 hours from noon today would be the first day. And then I'll do 20 more days and just water. I'm not sure. I've had really problems trying to fast just for 2 or 3 days and kind of got medical problems. Nothing diagnosed or anything. I'm freaking out of shape. I don't know if I should do this now. I could. Let me cover up my tits. I got shorts and stuff on. I'm freaking big. So, sorry if I should have gave you notice. Hey, careful if you show too much. But, so, I'm thinking 21 days fast. Now the specific purpose of this is exactly what Rip Tripper said in his video, his Rip Tripper dying video, whatever. He's a trip. But he said 7 days to detoxify, and when you come off of that, you're starving, or you're, at least mentally, you think you're starving, and you're ready to eat anything that will taste good. You know, he didn't say this, but I was thinking, yeah, you starve yourself for 2 or 3 weeks, or do a fast 2 or 3 weeks, and you can get your mind over it. You'd be more than willing to eat stuff like roadkill. Like, ew. But yeah, so and you know what he said is he would transition from the fast straight into the diet plan, and that's what I want to do. My wife's been telling me 15 years or more. April the 1st was our 18th anniversary of. So we got married in April the 1st of 2000. Her dad picked the date. He said it was a good luck day. I said, you don't mind if it's American bad luck day? He said, no, April 1st, good luck day. I said, yes, sir. You're the boss. It's either that or July the 31st, and I was like, 3 more months. I don't want to wait. I wanted to be January 1st, and look at the calendar, and how long I'm married. That's cool. But, she's been wonderful. She loves me. She deserves a better me. I don't want to get all mushy, but my wife has seen a lot of different me's, and she deserves a better me. So, if I can get down to the weight I was, I don't know, I was 240 when we got married. I was fit and shaped, sliced and diced. But, in 2004, 4 years later, I think my son was 1 year old. I think. I have to check on that. I know he was born in September 2004, so it was right before he was born. Months, when it happened, but that year I gained a lot of weight, got out of shape, and I couldn't exercise, couldn't fitness, couldn't work for a while. I had a lawyer help me get through it. So I don't want to get into that. It worked out okay. So my goal is to get down to 270, 280. That's what I was here 3-4 years later before the truck accident. 270, 280. I was actually trying to lose 40, 50 pounds, get back down to 230, 240. And within a year of that date, this is maybe after that date, I got up to 285 or something like that, 290. Trying to get back down. Anyway, I think I tried to hack his diet for a couple months. Didn't do too good because I couldn't find any. I couldn't get away from sugar soda. Couldn't do diet soda. That's something I'm still I don't knowingly choose. If I know something has, I gotta learn more about these e-juices, because I don't want e-juices that have fake sugar, and there's so much I don't know about them that I just don't like the acids and the other stuff. I don't know how good or bad they are. Somewhere in my head I believe they're bad for you, so all the stereotypes and all the jokes. I like to watch comedians. A lot of comedians. Cleaner comedians are better, like back in the days, Jerry Seinfeld, and good Christian comedians like on Bananas. But I can handle dirty comedians too. It's just sometimes when they're funny just to be funny, and sometimes they're dirty to be funny, and that's the only way they're funny is when they're dirty, and that's like, I don't need it. I can handle it. Sometimes I watch it. But anyway, getting off subject again. So I need to go on a diet at least for a year. I was on a vegetarian diet. What the Health video had inspired me to go complete, as far as I know, complete vegan. No milk, no cheese, no eggs, no dairy, no animals of any type. I think I'm not going to go that far, but I had lost about 10 pounds a month. But I hadn't cut out. I said, all I'm doing is vegan. That's all I'm doing. So sugar, carbs, all that was on the menu. And I lost. What I experienced on that diet was my arteries. It started to come back. It's been about a year. It started to come back, like 5, 6, 7 months after I got off the diet. I was on the diet for like 3 months, and it was like all of May, April, June, July, April, May, June, July. So yeah. Anyway, I had seen unbelievable improvement in my circulatory system. A few years ago, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, my wife had bought theme park tickets, for the season pass tickets to the local theme park, and I went a couple of times. I don't even think. The regular price was like $70 or $80 or something like that for the regular adult price, and so I went 2 or 3 times. So it was like $150 a season pass. It was something. That was a lot. It seemed like a lot of money to me. I had gone enough times that if I had just paid each time I went, I would have got in for $30 or $40. So I'm guessing it was like $100 or something, $100 some change. We might have got on sale. I don't remember all the details, but and one of the problems I had was I was big back then, 400 pounds at least, and I had problems walking. I had problems. My joints hurt. My feet. It took me a week and a half to recover. The first time I went, did the best I could. Tried to ignore the pain. Enjoyed the theme park the best I could. Took a lot of breaks. Sat down a lot. This was back before I quit smoking, but my family, most of the time, at least I thought in my head, that they didn't know I was smoking. My wife always knew. you know how you can get close to somebody that smokes more than a handful of cigarettes a day. And probably smoked 10 cigarettes a day back then, and somebody loves you to death and was willing to kiss you more than twice a day, once or twice a day. Not necessarily more than that, but you know, kiss you. You know, they can taste you smell like an ashtray. So she had to know. She just was nice enough not to make a big deal of it most of the time. But so I was out of shape, and the bottom of my feet turned to hamburger. It took me weeks to try, and I treated it with just basically pharmacy store over the counter remedies like skin cream. You know, treated with Vaseline, treated with. Okay, sorry about that. My son was curious. Loved him, man. Gotta work on him. It's my fault that he's got about 5 pounds more weight than he should have. Maybe 10. He's getting up there in height. He's starting to get close to me. At least, I haven't checked, but he's probably close to 6 feet now. So. And what was I talking about? My brain got derailed. So anyway, the goal is to do a half of God fast, 21 days, and just to detox. So if I don't make it the full 21 days, I'm not going to be hurting. I do want to make it 7 or 8 days or more, because my goal is to detox. If I do it right, the thing is, if I make it 2 or 3 days and I can't make it and I go back and try again, I'm going to try for 21 days. 3 weeks basically. Today's Thursday, the 12th, I believe, of April 2018. So for 3 weeks would be 21, 12 and 21 is 34. So it'll be the beginning of March, April, May. The beginning of May when I come off of the fast technically and start on the diet plan. And I'm gonna do what my wife's been asking because of what I've seen in the Drip Trippers video and all the other stuff I know. I know it's right. I don't like getting off sugar, but I'm gonna try it. And because I did a 3-month vegan diet and it worked so well, because my goal was to see how it affects my cardiovascular system, and as far as I could tell, it immensely improved it. Within 3 months, I had good circulation back in my feet and my legs. I felt energized, like I could walk, and all I really did was cut out meats and proteins from eggs, milk, cheese, and any kind of meat, you know. I even it was fun, we went to the grocery store and we're like, we gotta find something that doesn't have anything bad in it. And I said, sugar's fine. She said, no. So her big thing was high fructose corn syrup. And okay, I agree, that's bad. But I'm like, this says corn syrup, it doesn't say high fructose corn syrup. There's a difference, and I had to teach her what I thought I knew about it anyway. So, but it was funny. We involved one store employee for about 20 minutes maybe, and you know, we didn't take too much of the time, but he was very nice, tried to help us out the best he could. And one or two other store employees for a minute or two, they were kind of, you know, and they were really helpful and tried to point him in the right direction so he could tell us, you know, what to do, where to go. And I found a key lime pie. And now I forget what it was, but it had it was like everything free you could imagine. I had gotten used to the fact that nothing's going to taste right on this diet because I love, you know, basically I told everybody, my wife, and when the Jurassic Park movies come out, I'm a carnivore, you're a herbivore, and then I would go to the wrong area of thought and say, you know, I'm a meat eater and you're a vegetarian, and you know, meat eaters eat vegetarians. In a total marriage situation, it's okay. But anyway, let's stop there. Love my wife to death. She loves me, and quite frankly, don't deserve her. I mean, in every level, except that God has cleansed me and He's put me in a position where I have the right to certain things, but not the sin. He hasn't completely prevented me from sinning just yet. I think once we get to heaven, that'll be easier. I'm still curious about exactly how that's going to look and feel, but got a lot of ideas from talking to God a lot. Way too much. I mean, it's not possible to talk to God too much. But I have some ideas and concepts that I've never heard anybody preach or teach about. And I don't have from what I do know about the Bible, I have no reason to believe they're not true. I have some ideas that do, you know, I don't think are true, but they're just crazy ideas. That the Bible may have one thing or another to say about it. So I highly doubt that they're the cases, but they're like what if scenarios, you know. But that's for another video. The things I know and the things I think I know about God that He's allowed me to know. And this video is 42 minutes long already. I need to get on the video. I'm rambling. If you made it this far, if you somehow just entertained, like some of my favorite streamers and YouTubers, I'm going to say, love you to death. Thank you so much for your support. Just being curious enough to see what this joker's going on. You know, if this works out, if this works the way I want to, I expect it to, this will be the start of a series and other personal information that'll, you know, years from now. I plan on doing this diet doing something directly related to this diet or after this diet for 2 or 3 years. Plan on getting down to a great body weight for my height and size, get back into fitness. I haven't even decided how I'm going to do that. Right now I'm still deciding on what I'm going to do for the first several months, first year. I think I should probably do the vegan diet for a year. You know, from the time I start, which is this week, this month, God willing, today. So I'm going to cut out sugar completely. Now, not as... what I told my wife this morning was, alright, look, I'm going to do about 90% of this diet Rip Trip or something about, because I'm going to still do fruits. I'm doing natural, holistic, I guess, I don't know. Frozen's fine. I don't have no problem with frozen fruits and vegetables. I'm just saying that I'm going to go as natural as I can. And when it comes to sweeteners, I'm going to cut out all sugars. I don't think I'm going to cut out all carbs, but what I want to do is stay away from the more processed stuff and do natural stuff as much as possible. So I haven't figured all that out. But I'm going to start with a fast. I'm saying that today I'm planning on doing a 3-week fast, 21 days. Strictly for the purpose of starting the diet and detoxifying and get ready. When I come off the diet, I got to be completely decided where I'm going to go, thinking no sugars at least for 6 months to a year. No sugar, so honey and fruits. You know, honeys and fruits and vegetables, that's my only sweetener of any kind. I mean, maybe we'll do some natural spices for meals to spice up meals. I don't know. Not a big fan of hot stuff, like really spicy hot foods. I mean, I like it in my genitals beef, but genitals chicken, genitals beef. I like it in my spicy chicken. Was it from Popeyes? It's Cajun. Certain foods I like it would be a little bit spicy, but once a week, once a month type thing. Kind of helps get things moving down there, if you know what I mean. And it tastes good. But I'm not a big fan of really hot stuff. My wife is, she loves it. She can put it on any food that's designed to add hot sauce to. And she used to eat it all the time. She cut back a lot more than I thought she would cut back. Not on purpose, she just, I think, outgrew it. Not that she doesn't like it, she still likes it. So she just doesn't do it all the time. If I go out and buy her, a bottle of hot sauce, put it on it, she will. But if it's not in the house, she doesn't, gripe and complain and go out and get some. She just don't have it. So if you have it, she every once in a while she'll put it on her soup, put it on her, something that she's eating. And I'm looking at the timing and it's saying 47 minutes, so I need to get out of here. So the goal is, the decision day is today. Starting with the goal is 21-day fast. Purpose to detoxify, to reset a bunch of stuff that's out of, all messed up, both mentally and physically, and that's a goal. And then when you come off it, go straight into diet. So I'm going to take 90% of the vegan, vegetarian type lifestyle meals and food-wise. I told my wife, alright, so I'm not going to do 100%, I'm going to do 90%. Or 80%, 89% of both. So with the simple diet, Road Tripper says, no sugar, and no processed food. Certain types of no processed food, like he said, potato chips. It has 0 sugar. I don't want to get into. I already have an issue with fake sugars. I tried it when I was on Atkins diet. I found some stuff that I was okay with, and a lot of stuff that I didn't like. I'm not sure that they're chemically healthy for you as sugar is, but like Trevor says, sugar's a drug. So what to do when you can't have either? I'm gonna have plain tea with tea bags and water. No fake sweetener, no real sweetener. Maybe honey. I gotta look into that some more, but I'm thinking honey might be safe in as a sugar replacement. So and I told my wife, well, I don't want to go as far as, I was completely 100% vegan for like 3 months. 3 out of 4 months. I took a break for a week because I went on vacation with my sister and her family, my family, and my brother's family. Anyway, for a couple of days, went off the diet. I like what Road Trippers has said about no cheat days. I mean, I don't like it because I like cheat days, but what it said makes sense. You keep going back to it, you keep wanting it, and it doesn't really help you set up a lifestyle. So I'm going into this expecting it to be at least a year, maybe 2 years. So by the time I'm 50, 48 and 5 months now? So by the time I'm 50, it'll be a year and a half, year and 7 months, more or less. So gotta charge your battery. Need to get that new mod. Looking at a dual 2700. That's for another video. But so I'm gonna take 85-90% of vegans, 95% of drip shippers. Basically, the only thing I'm doing different with this is I'm gonna have fruits and vegetables that are designed by God to be sweet. Apples with the seeds, good for you. Make sure you eat the whole apple, and then eat the seeds with it. So, I'm told my wife I might, and I still gotta decide on this. I'll have to make a decision later. I might do allow some stuff, like I'm thinking limiting myself to one egg. It doesn't matter whether it's large or small, just one egg a day, and maybe a piece of cheese. I don't know, but very extremely limited to what I like, and what I use all the time. I'm big cream cheese, sour cream, even yogurt. I love all that stuff. 430 pounds, more or less. Yeah, at least 420 pounds. Need to cut back on that stuff. And as my wife said, sugar. I love sugar, so I'm gonna cut back on that. And maybe I'm a big coffee fan. I don't know if I'm gonna go completely caffeine free. We'll see. I understand the benefits of it, but I'm not convinced. Now, sodas. Sorry, guys. I love you soda companies out there. Love Pepsi, Light, and Coke, and the big brand products. I've drinking them. I'm gonna cut out mostly because of the high fructose corn syrup. But if I'm going sugar free and I don't like fake sugars, there's nothing left but carbonated water. And a little bit of flavoring, but if you take just the flavoring without any sugar, natural or substitute, and you take out the high fructose corn syrup, there's not even enough flavor that you're gonna really like it. So, probably do without sodas as much as possible, which means all the highly powerful caffeine drinks I like, can't do those either. So, but coffee, maybe tea, probably. Sugar free. I might allow a little bit of creamer, maybe flavored creamer. We're gonna have to look into that, because if I'm gonna cut out sugar completely, I might have to get rid of that stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to do just water. Pray for me. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, chat. Not gonna be easy. But I'm seeing 53 minutes. It's going to be interesting. I hope they don't say I can't do it, release one that long. If they do, then I don't know how I'm going to break it up. I don't know. So, anyway, thanks for the support. Hopefully this is still available. Hopefully I can upload it. Hopefully it's still up there and available years from now, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10. And if I do make it, if I am successful, if I actually end up having a lot of at least followers and YouTube subscribers and followers on Twitch or whatever, and they come back to this and go, this was the first day of his weight loss, it won't mean anything if I give up in a few days and never do it. It'll just be another person that tried a diet and didn't do it, didn't succeed. But if I do, if it works out, God blesses, then it'll be the decision day, the first day, the day I decided, and the day I actually started the first day of my fast, whether it's one day, one week, like 7 days, or it's 3 weeks, like I want to do. Today's the day I decided, and it's made the decision, and I took action, like Anthony Robbins says. action. So, I'm going to let y'all go. I want to thank you very much for your support and just for being curious. And I love my wife, love my kids, and I need to do it for them. If I'm going to be around 20 years from now, I'm going to have to do something about it now. So that's the goal. Do something about it now, be around for them, and we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. So thanks, take care. I'll have to learn how to do an intro and an outro and get a brand name, all that stuff later, but decision day to lose 150 pounds. Thank you. Have a great day, a great week, great life, and I will see you.